Fry.
Good afternoon, and thanks for hearing me. My name is Pete Fry, a longtime neighborhood resident, former chair of the Strathcona Residents Association, former citizen member of the Downtown East Side Local Area Planning Committee, and I remain active on various neighborhood initiatives, including the Community Economic Development Strategy Action Committee. I hadn't intended to speak before council today, but because of the change in the timing, while it may have frustrated a lot of other speakers, it actually freed up my schedule. So I'm here today, and I feel this is important to speak to. I've been watching the last 3 days of hearings from work. It's been quite interesting for me to see it all unfold, particularly as some of the proponents of this development were being exposed. Council may not be aware, but while many of the pro-development speakers were coming before you, citizen bloggers were uncovering their LinkedIn profiles and live tweeting connections to the development industry and the real estate industry and so forth. And I think it's important to note that in a city grappling with the commodification of housing and what that means to communities and the people who live here, the connection is significant and the impression is quite striking. On one side, we have moneyed real estate interests and their employees, noted patrons of municipal politics. On the other hand, we have citizens, Vancouverites, historians and advocates, neighbors, elders, young folk. It's a real David and Goliath type story, and I think going back to the first day, Shirley Chan made a very excellent observation. That the recent decisions made here in this council chamber in order to purported to save Chinatown, in fact, are being replacing Chinatown. And expanding on that thought, I think the real irony is that in many ways, all these recent ham-fisted development decisions that were being made here in these council chambers about Chinatown, big block buildings at the expense of heritage and community, those ham-fisted decisions have actually succeeded in saving Chinatown in a backhanded sort of way because they've unintentionally succeeded in building community and building real community. Opposition to this development proposal has managed to bring together young people and old people, historians, housing activists. Opposition to this project has brought something of a Chinatown renaissance. It's something that we haven't seen in a long time, and we're seeing it in these chambers over the last 4 days. It's a passion that's been ignited to save our neighborhood. And as a resident, as a longtime resident, it's tremendously inspiring, especially seeing this new generation of young Chinese Canadians who are stepping forward to save the neighborhood. I can tell you it's a diverse group. I've met with most of them. They have different opinions on things like social mix and types of housing continuum, but they're united in the love for the neighborhood. And I'm especially struck by how many of them don't have roots in Chinatown per se, but how it's important to them anyway, because the sense of place that Chinatown embodies, the historical context, the obvious visual expression that Chinese people helped build this city and that they have a right to be here. The Chinese people have hybridized a unique contribution to North American cities in the form of Chinatown, of which Vancouver can be very, very proud of. Heritage is about so much more than just old buildings. It's about community, and the passion and dedication to save Chinatown is such a wonderful and compelling expression of that community. So the point of saving the spirit and community is Chinatown. Well, if that's the point, then the opposition has actually, the opposition to this proposal has succeeded on that front. We've heard lots of cogent, compelling arguments over the last few days about opposing the development for this site, the scale, the context, the displacement of culture and population, the need to address existing housing and low-income needs, not speculation in condos, the poor value for public benefits contributed by the developer, where BC Housing and taxpayer pick up the cost for the seniors' housing, and the indeterminate and vague proposal of below market rate for seniors' amenity space. We've heard and read some of the more reasoned, I've heard and read some of the more reasoned non-developer support for the project. Albert Falk, Henry Tom, folks I respect and I know care about Chinatown as well. For what it's worth, I think Merrick Architects have done a nice job on the building, but it's the wrong place and it's the wrong size. This has been my neighborhood for close to 30 years. I've seen changes, the ebb and wane of growth and recession. I've seen successive planning and policy failures. I've seen years of neglect to the point that we're talking about replacing Chinatown. I recognize the need to revitalize Chinatown, but under a holistic strategy, not by way of piecemeal public benefit scraps attached to rezoning projects like this. You may not have had an opportunity to become aware of this, but just about an hour ago, the BC Greens agreed to support a new BC NDP provincial government. So we're on the verge of a massive game changer. I don't think we need to accept scraps from the table anymore. We have a great opportunity to build the kind of housing that we're looking about, to bring about the kind of public amenities through a new progressive partnership with the provincial government. And you have on your plate the opportunity to save Chinatown and prevent a disastrous legacy. And we're on the precipice of something great. And let's really hold off on this proposal and let's work towards something really fantastic for the future British Columbians, Vancouverites, and for our Chinatown.
All right. Thanks very much for your comments here.